Hey, boys and girls, moms and dads, children of all ages, welcome back again to another edition of Freedom Steel. Todd Vandermeide, former NRA contract lobbyist and Illinois gun law guru. So here we are. Yesterday, Mark Smith over at Four Boxes Diner was looking through the Illinois briefs and made these observations about it. And I want to play that for you, and then we're going to take it just a step deeper.
Very important. We're seeing this in the Illinois cases involving Barnett versus Rowell, and also the Bevis case, the Naperville case involving the various arguments out there involving the assault weapon ban. And we're also seeing this in other cases all across the country dealing with the anti-gun attempts to ban semi-automatic rifles such as the AR-15 and AK-47 semi-automatic versions. So specifically, the argument goes along this lines. I'm going to paraphrase it. It gets raised in the same idea, but it essentially says this, that the government is arguing that, or the government is trying to demonstrate that assault weapons, which are semi-automatic rifles, are uniquely lethal instruments that were developed for the military, for offensive uses in the military, and not for civilian self-defense. And it's wholly inappropriate for civilian self-defense because they are, among other things, too dangerous or too lethal for American civilians. Now, set aside the fact that these same quote-unquote lethal weapons are used by basically every single law enforcement agency in the United States, including when I walk through Times Square in New York City, I see the police officers in Times Square holding AR-15 style firearms. They probably have select fire there, but they certainly are ARs at a minimum. And one wonders if the police in America, including in Times Square, need AR-15 semi-automatic style firearms and rifles. Well, we walk the same streets as the NYPD, so it seems to me we should be getting the exact same weapons that they get. And I say that's the case all across America.
So there you have it. Mark found this in there, and I've seen this. And not only is the state making this case, the city of Chicago is making this case in this, and I think it's more of a insidious reason than just some stupid argument. So what the state has said is that since that time, technological advancements have dramatically altered the rate of fire, ease of reloading, power, range, sustained accuracy, and ultimately lethality of multi-shot weapons. And they keep talking about, as one example, the near instantaneous firing of an assault weapon is material different than manually refilling each chamber of a Colt revolver, individually inserting rounds into a Winchester repeating rifle, or loading a single musket ball in half a minute. Likewise, the damage caused by a standard caliber AR-15 round is more significant than that caused by a Thompson machine guns, handguns, muskets, or hunting rifles. Bullshit. And this AR releases 3 times the energy of a Thompson, 4 times to 19 times the energy of handguns in various calibers, and 10 times the energy of a musket. Unsurprisingly, the lethality associated in these technological advanced weapons has wrought unprecedented societal concerns, specifically about lone shooters armed with assault weapons and large capacity magazines murdering dozens of people in minutes, if not seconds. They go on, but in recent years, and especially since the expiration of the federal assault weapons ban in 2004, the frequency and cumulative lethality of mass shootings has increased dramatically. They go on, assault weapons and large capacity magazines are the chosen instruments for the vast majority of these attacks because of their unique killing potential. Describing unique lethality of assault weapons, these instruments also allow solo shooters to inflict mass death and injury by enabling them to shoot uninterrupted for longer periods and get off more shots with fewer reloads. So lethality, why is this important? Well, if we go back to House Bill 218, which is pending the governor's signature, they talk about firearm accessories, and here it says, firearm accessory means an attachment or device designed or adapted to be inserted into, affixed onto, or used in conjunction with the firearm that is designed, intended, or functions to alter or enhance, number 2, the lethality of the firearm. So, I've kind of mentioned hollow point ammo in the past, but the reason I think they are using this whole thing of lethality is because they've now made that a gateway for the basis of a civil suit against any industry player. That means any engineer, any law firm, any machine shop that manufactures this stuff. That's what they've done in here, because their definition of industry member means a person, firm, corporation, company, partnership, society, joint stock company, or any other entity or association engaged in the design, manufacture, distribution, importation, marketing, wholesale, or retail of firearms related products. And firearms related products includes accessories. So I think they're putting this into the record because the state is making the argument in federal court that there's an enhanced lethality. By making that argument in the federal court, the state is on record. It is the position of the state that these are more lethal. And they're going to be looking to try to get a judgment somewhere that says, yes, these things are more lethal. And because of that, to give a footing for lawsuits against the entire industry, from retailers to manufacturers to whoever. Now, we all know that 30-06 carries way more energy than a 5.56. We know that 300 Win mags. We know that there are a whole lot of rounds that are more potent than the typical 5.56 ammo. It's also ironic that you can get AR platform guns and even AK platform guns in 9mm, which is not nearly as powerful, allegedly. So, I don't know how and how does a 9mm Glock with a threaded barrel, qualified as an assault weapon, be more lethal outside of adding hollow points? The threads on the barrel do nothing to increase its lethality. It's a crazy argument. But I think this whole thing that they're putting together here is for a simple reason. They want to buttress in any way they can all of the civil suits that this bill is going to provide. It's just another way that they can point to, look, the state says these are lethal. And if frivolous Frank Easterbrook is the guy that is on the panel that writes the opinion in the Barnett case, then hey, look, this federal judge, Court of Appeals, they even said that this is more lethal. That's why it's important to overturn the Friedman case here in the Seventh Circuit and have New York v. Bruin carry the day, and throw Friedman and Wilson into the dustbin of history, on the ash heap of irrelevant court rulings when it comes to the Second Amendment and modern firearms. So that's what I think is behind here. And as I said, the city of Chicago develops about 2 pages of their brief to this. A couple of quick excerpts. Let's see. They are dangerous in the hands of civilians because of their extraordinary lethality, as well as the extraordinary challenges they present to law enforcement officers attempting to prevent and respond to mass shootings involving such weapons. They go on, they talk about when the Armalite AR-15 was developed and cite the reports on it. The weapon's lethality and its reliability record were particularly impressive, and wounds it created were prodigious, designed for maximum wound effect. That part of that report has been discredited, but talking about how the weapon took the right arm off, but those were all reports from the field that were grossly exaggerated. So they keep trying to pin all that lethality in, and again, this is going to be an ongoing thread through the anti-gun briefs. In order, you're going to see more of these bills pop up in other states. You already got one in California that I believe is law today. And now you're going to see this pop up in other states, and they're going to try to get around the Protection of Lawful Commerce Act. And this is what they're going to try to do. They did it in Connecticut, I believe it was, Massachusetts, somewhere over there, for marketing stuff. And they're trying to do the same thing, only they're trying to open up a bigger gap and all that. And that's why we're going to need the Supreme Court to shut that down. But hey, trying to get back in the swing of things here. It's been a while. We've had a ton of stuff. You see me hot, dusty, and dirty from coming back out at the range today. We were able to, I was doing some slope work. And we're putting 3 new 50-yard ranges in on the west side, and was working on all that, trying to get that and doing a bunch of slope work. So with that, here's a couple of pics. So that's what keeps me going. Outside of you guys, we have a lull in the Illinois federal case on the semi-auto ban. However, there's an amicus campaign going on. We'll do a quick video on that when we get back. But as always, guys, remember, please like, subscribe, copy and paste the link to this and share it around your social media, and just keep it going. Our subscribers keep going up. We're shooting towards the 10,000 mark, and we're just going to keep cranking content out. And I do plan on attending the oral arguments for the Barnett case on the 29th. So as always, guys, please, thank you very much, and frag out.